Alright, it is 9/19 Tuesday, technically the first day of the trading week. Not the first, but second week of July. And the watch list here has changed a little. WSRC is going to be like a degenerate morning panic bounce play. If it does that, HPIL is the same case, as well as PHIL, although this one's a bit lower in the range, although it is a bit more consistent. LWLG is just going to be a wash. It might do a morning panic bounce play that I might be interested in. I don't regret if I miss this one just because it kind of trades very strangely, but you know, if I see a setup I might consider it. This one is new. APTY, this could be like a breakout over this 185 level. Maybe I'll consider it for a run. It's just going to be a watch. However, you know, this is a new setup, so I'd probably be just cautious with it. NLST looks like a pump. Kind of gives me LWLG vibes, so I'm just going to be watching that for that reason. And as for the other ones, I'm just going to be watching for breakouts. BSSP, ideally a breakout over 53, which is a long way to go, but if you look at a 15-day, you know, if it does some kind of a move towards the upside, maybe tries to break out, I'll be considering it. This one's very far away if it does it. And WGC is just going to be a wash because it's on its second day. It might try to continue an uptrend, I'm not sure. It's just going to be a watch again with that one too. Gamer, I'll watch it if it breaks 24. And PBYA, I'll be watching this one if it starts to get closer to its high. So that's where I'm at right now. You know, just a little bit of everything. Morning panic bounce plays, just pumps to watch. APTY, we'll see if this one can actually hold and maybe make a run. You know, this nice breakout potential here. That's what I got for right now. Alright, it is 9:37 a.m. so this one is looking nice. There is, well, I guess there was a big bidder at 2. It was a 1,000,000 share bidder, but this is the first dip towards VWAP trade that I had here with APTY. So this thing is doing this nice breakout over this 185 level. Probably traded this horribly, honestly, but you know, probably just need to get better at holding. Ideally here 2 holds, but it might not be a perfect hold. It might crack under it and then continue an uptrend, or maybe this thing just absolutely fails. But anyway, I took a buy because this was a dip towards VWAP, and so this thing started downtrending, and then I saw the bids just start to fill up, just be very strong, start taking in some size. It just looked like something that was trying to hold on to a certain level, and then people were taking out the asks. So that's when I jumped in at 197, 936, which was right here. 197, so I got entered right here at 197, the very bottom of this candle. It was actually a good entry, you know, based off of this VWAP level. Had a run as high as 204. I sold at 202. At least I held for a minute, right? 937, 202, sold here. It did get as high as 204. You know, even though this thing is looking a bit strange, I actually don't like this price action too much, but ideally, if it can show some kind of an uptrend over this VWAP level, especially a crack over 204, you know, this thing could run for a long time today. This thing could make a super nice run. Now, my first trade, well, it wasn't a trading go through, but it was very sketchy. Oh, it looks like it's doing it now. Alright. So NLST, I took a buy. At least I placed an order at 932 right here at 25. Why? Because it was just some nice dropping. It looks like it was trying to hold itself, and it did hold itself for just a little bit, right? But it downtrended, and I spent a really long time. Now you can say in theory now, okay, you know, max panic, crack under $5, and that held immediately. Maybe no big obvious volume candle, although there was one here. You know, this thing was a setup. You should have taken a buy at the low 5s because of that, but I took way too long. It wasn't my fault, but you know, the order was pending. I tried canceling it. I tried, closing the order with my hotkeys. It says I have no securities, and I was just sitting there at pending, right? So what I did was that I switched accounts in the trading platform from one to the other, and then it kind of refreshed itself and said, okay, it was officially canceled. Though I spent a really long time trying to figure out what was going on with that order there, but that's what happens, I guess, when you try placing an order near the market open with Schwab. It just has a delay. But this is ideally a morning panic bounce play. I just wasn't a part of it because I was too busy messing around with order executions with NLST. Just threw me off of it, and then I started looking at APTY. So can I get really upset? No, not really, because it was partly the broker's issue, just taking a long time to show whether the order went through or not. And I was glad it didn't go through, because it would have sucked if it was just pending, and then it shows that, oh yeah, you're actually in the trade, right? And it's at 513, so that would have been bad. But that wasn't the case, so I'm thankful for that. Even though I kind of made me miss this, that's totally fine. That's where I'm at. There's still a lot of things going on. I'll make an update later. Alright, 9:49. Just want to make things a bit more, I have things more organized. Just want to review LWLG. Could be a potential dip towards VWAP setup, although I like to see VWAP uptrend more. APTY, this one worked. It broke out of this 204 range right here at 9:42, which was that was 5 minutes after I sold. 9:42. I don't mind maybe not being as good as I could be with this, because there isn't like a VWAP, like a price target to sell towards. But I could always do 3-to-1 risk reward. I guess at 36, I was risking pretty much this thing not cracking 197, and that was the case here. It just held. So I guess if in theory 3-to-1 risk reward, I risk the same level, right? And I guess that technically was 3-to-1 risk reward. I mean, the percent gain was 2%. Hey, but this is nice. It broke out of that range, 205. It got to the 220. So this was give or take. What is this? Is this like a 20% move? It's not bad. LWLG, I'll be watching this for the same thing, although this one might be again strange. It'll be a dip towards VWAP. NLST, again, missed that panic because of that order execution. DPLS, I'll be watching this for a dip towards VWAP as well. WSRC keeps downtrending, but I don't like the price action really. And what I learned from last week is that I really need to look at VWAP and see how much range there potentially is in this setup. In this case, you sell at 22, you're in at 21. Really, yeah, it's just what, 5%? I mean, I could do it. And this one isn't looking clean. I mean, we did have a big volume candle here, but it was all wicky and strange. Didn't trade it for that reason. It's just gonna be a watch. Alright, it's 9:58. I had another trade, same setup, dip towards VWAP. RGBP is the one, up 30% on the day. Traded this one worse than APTY because I felt like I was way too early. I got in at 297, 956. Sure, in theory it's dipping towards VWAP, but look at the range. The level here really where DWAP is 291, 292. So I kind of had a chase, and I bought at 297, not really waiting for this thing to sell for not waiting for this thing to drop towards that level and get an execution around that price right here. Sure, sometimes it kind of dips and it doesn't touch VWAP, it just hovers above it, and then it regains itself, but that wasn't the price action here. What I should have done is just waited for it to get to this VWAP level at 291. I would have been way more comfortable holding my position longer, even if it doesn't work out here in the downtrends. 30 is a very big level of resistance. That's a huge level to break past. And so anyway, I bought at 950. I sold very quickly because the price action was just not looking nice. It was clearly still dropping, so I actually still managed to sell for a profit. At 956 I bought at 297. The same candle I sold at 302, and that wasn't the best exit. There kind of was a delay there selling. Could have been worse though, but you know, now I kind of want to sit back and just see how this thing trades really. I don't like how, yes, we have that dip towards VWAP setup. It could be like APTY, but this is different because APTY looked more like a bull flag. You see it was uptrending, I got here. And RGBP is just not the same, at least in theory, but it can still work, right? It just had to drop towards this level. It could hold and then it could reverse, but yeah, I did not trade that one well. In theory, I could have taken a buy at maybe 292, and then I could have considered selling maybe at 3 if it's not working well, or here if it looks like it's gonna crack under this level. But even if I would have lost in that case, that would have been a better trade just because I traded it better. It's not showing my profit loss, but I'm gonna guess it was like $5. I don't know what the percent gain is gonna be. This one is still dropping. That's cool. It could be a dip under VWAP setup, but I'll probably stay away from this one because of the way it trades. It's kind of iffy, but I could have definitely have traded that one better. Just to go over everything else, I love you, LG. I'll consider it if it dips towards VWAP. I'll totally consider it. APTY got as high as that 220 level. Looks like it did. I did not see this, but it did. And I don't know if I would have traded it because this would have been another dip towards VWAP. I tend to like it if it does it just once or the first time. This is the second time, but that one in theory could work. NLST is at 570. This would have been nice because I would have traded 100 shares here, but that's okay. There wasn't like a big obvious volume candle. It was just that max panic break down under 5. But again, I don't regret this one because I just had issues with Schwab in the beginning there. DPLS, I guess this could be a dip towards VWAP. I'll try to be more cautious about it. WSRC could be a choppy inverse head and shoulders. That's where I'm at the moment. Alright, it is 10:13, and if I still had a position, I would be selling right here just in case it doesn't break out, it doesn't make a run, but it totally can because it cracked this not 189, this 990 level, right? This thing could be a continuation, but I wouldn't mind selling some here. Anyway, the setup was DPLS. I traded this one at 10.04. This one wasn't like the other ones, but it was a dip towards VWAP. And I got in at 183, which was right here in this candle, 104. And I sold at 105. Like, jeez. 10.95, the price action. I don't know, just I need to stop being really scared of these. I just don't like how when I say, okay, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to risk, the low, or I'm going to risk my entry level. And then that's when it actually happens and I have to sell for a loss. And then when I try selling because of price action, it uptrends some more past what I hold. So I just have to remember these things are going to be, it's going to feel a lot longer than what it seems to, at least before you enter a trade, on how long it's going to take for it to work. If it's going to work, of course. If it doesn't, I have to cut losses, but I just probably have to get better at that. Looks like I sold DPLS at various levels, but it wasn't a very big trade. I just traded I traded a small position. I guess let's just say $2, like $2.30. It got to 11. So that would have been nice, but I need to get better at holding these, really. And even though it didn't work with RGBP, it was right here. I could have traded that one better. I wouldn't have minded if I had to cut losses on that one, just because I held it better. But here with DPLS, I just probably need to just start getting better. I guess I need to go back to this. I don't know, maybe I do need to risk the level I get in if it's not a morning panic bounce play. I do better at morning panic bounce plays because I do risk the low of the day. But this is like a newer setup, so I just want to keep getting better at it. In hindsight, maybe you can take a buy, right? any point here and just try to hold off of this breakout level at 976, right? Or maybe just hold if it holds over a penny, because you know it's what is a sub penny? It's just, you know, people don't like sub pennies. So because you know it can run for a lot more. Same with RGBP, although this one's harder because it has I think it's worse in terms of you know, the daily chart has all this resistance here. DPLS isn't really necessarily something like that. This will be a good morning panic bounce play at some point, at least in theory. WSRC, it's nothing I want to trade. I mean, I could take a buy and risk 2120, right? Or if I want to be cheeky, to 2116, or even this wick right here and go for some kind of a reversal. But you know, it could do it. It could hold this 20 level, which would be significant. I might even consider it, but the volume is pretty dead. That in theory could be a trade. This is nice with APTY, so let's go back. That was the first one. I started trading smaller positions as I started moving forward. 936 right here. Did get to this 20 level. I missed this one, but I don't know if I would have traded it. This was a bit of a lower high, so that would have been kind of hard. But I guess when it started holding itself and it broke it, I could have bought the breakout here at 2.2, 2.38. I guess not that much range, but that's nice to see it, you know, here at 2.3, or at least it was there. Is there anything else that I need to go over? LWLG could be a dip towards VWAP. It could. And I mean, there would have to be more volume for this thing to drop towards that level. NLST is trading at its highs. It could break the day high, although that would be a sketchy pattern because, you know, it's not like the first, second, or third day. So that's where I'm at the moment. It's just going to be a watch. LWLG potential dip towards VWAP, maybe NLST for a breakout over the day high, maybe even WSRC. But again, from what I learned, I should probably, maybe if I do consider it, I should trade in this low 21 level just so there's more range with VWAP. I don't want to take a trade right here. 21.51, it goes to VWAP at 21.95. Whoop-de-doo, you know, I need to work on picking better setups, and from what I can tell today, I need to hold these a lot better too. Alright, 10:30, another trade with DPLS, and the idea was the breakout over the day high, which was this 150 level, give or take. I think it was 149, I'm not extremely sure. Anyway, I took a buy at 148, 1026, which was right here, and I wanted it to work rather immediately. There was a big seller on the ask, and I've seen this price action before where there's just this big seller on the ask and then two show up and it downtrends because there's just too many people selling at the ask. But in this case, it was actually different. It broke past the level, and then it had this extremely quick pop as high as 117, and then it kind of looked like it dried up, like people said, all right, well, it broke the day high, what now, right? So it looks like it's trying to hold over the breakout level at this 1.5 level. I traded a tiny position, probably should have traded this one a little better because my risk was extremely tight. It was really just going to be, you know, if it doesn't break this 115 level, you know, I can cut like very, very easily. Just not that much range to lose at all. So I could have traded larger here. I don't mind my sell too much. I feel like I probably sold a bit early, but I've seen a lot of these kind of breakouts and then it kind of just sits there and it just falls right back down. So I don't regret it too much. I traded a tiny position, right? So, you know, it was just under 1%. You know, just tiny. It was a great attempt in terms of experience because, you know, I've never really been good at these that break the day high, and just even though I barely held on to it, it was just that much better. This is something where I can just, you know, practice. It's still holding technically this 1.5 level. Could be something where you just hold and see if this thing continues to break out. I mean, ultimately it cracked this today, you know, this high right here at you know, right this little, that wick right there, and you know, this thing could keep running the rest of the day. It's only 10:33, so as for the others, I don't want to make this long and boring, but APTY is uptrending. It's continuously uptrending, but I consider it a buy here. Just a sketchy triangle thing is forming, so I don't like being a part of those. RGBP, I will be watching this for a potential inverse head and shoulders. LWLG, just boring. NLST, this one didn't break the day high. DPLS, again, this thing can keep uptrending. WSRC, I'm probably gonna, yeah, I'll remove this one. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'll just keep looking, but nothing clear right now. Alright, it is 11:19 and I have to call things off because I have a lot of orders to catch up with. So I'll be off of this computer. I will still have my laptop, but I'll probably not trade anything else. I mean, just out of curiosity, is there any large percent gainer today? That would be nice. RSHN, I guess there might be in theory. No, not really. I mean, it's the first day, but not, you know, I haven't seen those really be good. Is that right, or was it only 2 W's? This one's a lot better. Okay, this is a new guy. This is, this one, I guess, had a dip towards VWAP here, but it had 2 that were under it. It's midday. This could be a potential morning panic bounce play if it could run tomorrow, so I'll definitely add this to the watch list. But right now, it's just gonna be that. It's nothing more than that. As for everything else, APTY volume isn't really that nice. Again, midday, so not really ideal for trading anymore. Who knows how much further this thing can keep going. Maybe that's the most I can do. Maybe it'll do a follow-up a second day over this breakout and keep running. That would be nice. DPLS got as high as, that's nice, it got as high as 12. 10 to 12. I guess it doesn't seem like much in terms of percentage, but you know, 20% move right here. It looks like it's 40, right? It looks like a lot more, but yeah, I had a buy right here. This candle, I believe, right? 10:04, maybe the next one, and then I went for the breakout here. Traded small position sizes. I think they were good attempts. If anything, I can learn from it. LWLG. This is not how I want to trade a stock that dips towards VWAP. It has to be kind of quick. You see, this was a bit quicker. This is taking too long. I wouldn't be interested in this. RGBP keeps downtrending. I was interested in the inverse head and shoulders, shoulder, head. Sure, in theory, it did it. I was going, I think, for this shoulder, head, but then this one dropped, so this makes it the new shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, and I guess in theory 25 to 26, but I didn't like how this didn't spike right here to this level at 28, so it was less range, and it didn't work out that nicely. So it's just in terms of risk reward, in terms of odds. I did not see this NLSC. I would have traded that had I have seen it. Yeah, well, could have gotten an entry at 553 maybe, and then to sell at 568. You know, because if it's at 53 and I risk 48, I'm risking you know, 5 pennies. So risk reward 15, 553, right? Plus 15. So at least 5, I guess 568. It did get the 568, so that would have been a good setup in theory. I just was not really there for it. I didn't see it when it dropped here, and yeah, I gotta get going. That's what I got for right now. I might make an update later after the markets have closed. I'm up like 16 bucks today, but I could have traded so much better. It's a good thing that I'm trading small position sizes, and you know, hopefully I can keep getting more consistent. Just holding some of these better. I tend to have really good entries. I just need to work on my exits. There wasn't really any morning panic bounce plays except for NLST, And that one, again, I missed because of that issue I had with Schwab, so I can't get upset at that. What can I say? I have a lot of room for improvement. Alright, I'm back on the main computer at 6:08 p.m. and I'm just here to call it off. Overall, I made like 18 bucks trading these things, not anywhere as well as I could excuse me, that I could have traded. I had I believe what, 3 trades. One was at 2.3%, one was 1.7, DPLS was roughly 1% in the first one. And then that final one here was like 0.71. I have a lot of room for improvement, but I'm just gonna see what happens, since I did see this move here, DPLS, when it broke out of here later in the day. I wasn't here initially. I would have totally have bought just a small position just to see how that went. 12, there isn't that much range. I mean, honestly, 12.6 to 13, right? That's not much range, but I do like how clean the setups were. Let's look at the other ones. RGBP. This one, is that true? I guess that was a print. It just faded today. Not a very strong second day. APTY. It looks like it's still holding above the breakout level at 189. 22% above it. But yeah, it kind of faded the rest of the day. LW. Why are these having these little perks at the end? This one isn't looking too nice, but it's still up a decent amount from that low. I probably should have expected a morning spike. This is a great lesson. Just the fact that this thing was having this downtrend, and then it has a gap up, even though it's a little bit, just a nice spike here from that 9 to 12 level. Tim actually got in that trade. I forgot his exact entry and exit. NLST faded too, but I guess that extended hour thing. No, they all have that. Okay. This was a morning panic bounce play, the only one that was really good today, and I just missed it because I had issues with Schwab again. I can't get upset. That was my attempt to buy here, and then I traded APTY, which worked out very nicely. 936. First dip towards VWAP was right here. I got in and out. 197 out at 202, which was right here. I would have been happy selling in this 215 level. I'm not trying to get to this higher level because, it could have downtrended or done anything else. It broke out of the range. Maybe if I sold half here and then the other half there, that would have been very nice. I feel like I have a lot of room for improvement, but this is overall a setup I don't have as much experience with compared to morning panic bounce plays, but definitely want to keep working on it. It looks like a canceled buy at DPLS. Let's just take a look at that to see where that was. Ideally it was 113,947, which was right here. 947. I don't know, I guess because it was just trying to run up, and I thought maybe I could go for a buy there, but I canceled the order. It just probably didn't seem that good later on, or I didn't get filled. Probably just didn't like the way it was going later. RGBP 956. So it was back here. Yeah, it was just too early. It wasn't really at the, if it was at the bottom of the range, 291, I would have felt better with my entry. Instead, I kind of got in at 297. I still sold for a profit, but even if it would have been a loss here, if I had bought at this lower range at the VWAP level, this 292 level, I would have felt much better. A lot of improvement there can be made. DPLS, my first one was 1004, 1005, which was right here. Just should have probably have tried risking off the low of that candle right there. That probably would have helped me, be able to get some more profits. Yeah, definitely could have improved there. And then the last one, excuse me, DPLS was at 1026. That was later right here at the initial potential breakout, which worked out. It went from 1148 to 1257. So again, not huge range. It would have been hard holding through all of this just to sell right there. That would have been super hard. Probably would have sold maybe had I have held better here, right? Once we got this uptrend, you know, big volume, and then it starts downtrending like that. I don't know. It's just speculation, really. Not that much range in this stock, but still offered some nice patterns. This was a dip under VWAP. Don't know if I would have traded something like that. Made a nice run. Would have traded this breakout here at 1260, at 316. But yeah, that's all I got. Just so, yeah, 4 trades, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 trades. Could have done a lot of things differently. Still trading small position sizes. I think that's the best part of it all. This was a $400, $300, and then this kind of broke into pieces. That was a $200 something position, and this was a $200 something position. I just have to keep getting better. I look forward to rewatching this. Just a great attempt here, trying to get more experience and consistency trading first dip towards VWAP setups on stocks that are doing nice price action movement, especially these, because they broke a very important level, DPLS, as well as RGBP. This one not as nice as the other ones because it's not at its highs. APTY is another one. So yeah, that's it. That's really all I got. These things could continue running for more days, but I'm not, at least right now, I don't feel like that kind of person who holds for many days. Maybe I'll get into something like that, but for right now, that's where I'm at. Just a great attempt with these, you know, day trading, intraday, first step toward VWAP setups, and one high of day breakout.